Hello my quilting friends! Leah Day here with a new Quilty Box video. I just received my Quilty Box for October 2017 and guess who put it together? Me! So let's check out the box and see what I put together for you this month. Just in case you've never heard of Quilty Box, basically this is a box of fun gear, tool supplies, and beautiful fabrics. And each month the items inside are picked by a different designer. So this month's box is picked by me. Yeah, I picked everything out for you guys to enjoy. So we've got a pack of cheater needles here. This is really important. This is a tool I use every single day. It's basically a self-threading needle that allows you to really easily hide your quilting threads, tie off and bury them securely inside your quilt. So I'll share another video tutorial so you can see how to use those when quilting. Now, speaking of tying off and burying thread, here's some thread. This is my favorite Isacord thread, and you got two colors, some chartreuse and Oxford. So beautiful light green and blue. And we've got a little packet of soak. I absolutely love this stuff. I am starting to use it all the time. It's a really mild detergent. I use it to do all of my hand washing. Absolutely love it. Now here's something really cool. This is a Tutu. It is an organizer designed for a wide mouth mason jar. I just happen to have one right here. So what you're gonna do is take this thing apart, just kind of pop it out of the cardboard here. And there's like little clips here. You're going to just cut that away. That piece becomes the top of your jar, and you can cover that with fabric. And then this part fits over the mason jar, and you can stick stuff down in the mason jar and also store bobbins and pens and supplies and tools down in those holes. It's absolutely perfect for keeping your stuff organized. And let me just show you one that I've already actually put together. So this one's in pink. The one you're gonna get, I think, is only gonna be in green, but here you can see how it just nicely fits around. And I've put fabric over the top, and you can see I've just tucked it away inside there. And so now I can store thread and bobbins and things like that inside, cap that, and then also store bobbins really nicely along the edge. So I really hope you guys like that organizer. We, of course, have our little magazine, Bundles of Inspiration. You can learn a little bit more about me and my husband Josh and my dad and some things that we're gonna make this month. Along with that quilt pattern, you also get a really cute little improv pattern to make a cute pumpkin block. I've gotta make that. That is so cute. Now, for the fabrics, this is always my favorite part, and you guys, I've gone all out. This is the fabric that I designed for Island Batik. This is my heart medallion fabric, and it has been specially cut for you guys. So you get a 1 yard panel of the green and blue, this beautiful blue fabric, and all of these gorgeous heart medallions. Now I designed this specifically for quilting. So these motifs are nice and big, and they have a lot of space around them. So you could come in here and do some really intense dense free motion quilting, or you could just simply outline quilt around it to keep it really simple. So I can't wait to show you how to cut these up, use them in your quilts, and quilt them too. So here's what we're making this month. This is the Heart Medallion Checkerboard, and we're gonna take those 2 yards of fabric, slice them up, and fussy cut out those medallions to create this beautiful quilt. So let's get started learning first how to fussy cut and make sure we end up with beautiful medallions centered up in all of our squares. So the first step to creating this quilt is to fussy cut out our heart medallion shapes. And I'll be honest, it's really tempting just to take a rotary cutter to do this thing and start slicing it up. But it really pays to take the time to mark the blocks and to center them up into a 9.5 inch square. So the first step that I did was I prepped up my rotary ruler. So this is one of my favorite rulers. It's a 12.5 inch Quilter Select ruler. And I love it because it grips the fabric. See how it doesn't shift, it really stays put. But I also has very thin lines that I can see easily. So what I've done is lined up my tape, and I've marked the 9.5 inch mark here and here. And then I centered that up and just kind of gauged where the heart medallion was lying. And I found that if I added more marks within that ruler, 3/4 of an inch inside. Generally, some medallions are a little bit bigger and some medallions are a little smaller, but generally that would line up and center the medallion into that shape. So here I'm just lining this up and trying to get the medallion more or less centered into that square, and I'm just going to mark the outline of the 9.5 inch square. So just go around, you've got 12 medallions per yard, got 2 yards of fabric, so take your time marking a 9.5 inch square around each one. I'll meet you back here so we can start cutting these out to create our heart medallion checkerboard. So I've marked the outlines of my blocks, and now I'm just going to rough cut without even using a ruler. I am just going to cut right through the middle, leaving as much even space around each block. So you can see, that square is marked on the inside and those lines aren't straight. What I'm going to do after I get all of them cut out, I'll start squaring them up one by one. So now I'm going to line that ruler up again, and I'm just double checking that that still looks centered up to me. And so I'm kind of estimating 3/4 of an inch inside here, kind of taking a look at that, 3/4 of an inch inside there. And like I said, the medallions might not end up entirely perfectly square or circular in shape, and that's okay. It's a batik print, which they're never entirely 100% perfect. So here we go. And that's part of the appeal. That's part of what makes them beautiful. So that looks good. So now I'm going to cut. And one other idea that might be helpful would be to cut 10-inch squares. And then if you have some wiggle room, if it doesn't seem quite as centered as you'd like, then you could use that last 1/4 inch to trim it down, or I should say the last 1/2 inch to trim it down and get things just exactly evenly square. And another cool thing would be just the idea of letting it be off-center, letting it be kind of wacky and kind of wonky, and that's okay too. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered up, matchy-matchy, that's just one certain style of quilting that says, things need to be right smack dab in the center. So more than anything else, I really hope that you can see you can be creative with this. I'm just showing you one method. So that's how I trimmed mine up. As you can see, I'm a little bit further out. I've got a little bit more space in this direction, but to me, that looks great. It's generally roughly centered up, and this is going to make a beautiful block for our quilt. So once you get your blocks cut out, the next step is to arrange them into rows. So this is rows of 4 blocks across, and you have a total of 6. So just kind of maybe spread out all of the blocks on a table or on the floor so you can get a nice arrangement. And I am kind of picky. I start getting a little obsessive and flipping things around, making sure, the same design isn't next to another similar design. And that's okay. It can get me stuck and slow me down though. So speaking from experience, don't get too obsessive with it. Don't, worry about it being too perfect. I know it's really tempting to get obsessive about this and, really start looking at the design and patterns and stuff and, oh, that one's kind of similar to this other one and all that kind of stuff. Just don't let it bog you down. Don't let it slow you down too much. Go on ahead and get it arranged and then start putting it together into rows. So basically what you're going to do is just piece together a set of 4 blocks. So here is a row that I've already put together. Look how pretty that is. And I pressed my seam allowances open so they'd be nice and flat, and this will be really easy to quilt over. So once you get your rows together, simply piece the rows together, get your quilt top all in place, add some borders, and here's what it looks like whenever you finish the Heart Medallion Checkerboard. So that's it for this video. I hope that you'll enjoy creating this Heart Medallion Checkerboard and you'll follow along as we quilt it together this month. We're going to do a little mini quilt along, learn how to stitch in the ditch, how to outline quilt around all of those Heart Medallion designs, and quilt 2 fun designs in the borders. So at the end of the month, we're going to have a super soft, beautiful quilt to enjoy. So I hope you'll join in the fun and make the Heart Medallion Checkerboard with me. Now, if you'd like to learn more about Quilty Box, check it out in a link below this video. It's a wonderful way of getting cool tools and beautiful fabrics every month. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube so you don't miss the next video coming out soon. And we have several videos in this series you don't want to miss out. You'll be able to find all of them linked up at leahday.com/checkerboard. So make sure to check that out. Until next time, let's go quilt. We're gonna fussy cut out these squares and piece them together to create this checkerboard, then slap on 2 borders and create this beautiful quilt top. So let's get started creating this quilt together. I don't think I should use the word slap. Slap on a border, baby. Slap it on. I don't think anybody's gonna really like that. Okay, let's try that again. Slap it on, Bertha. All right. So here's what we're making this month. It's the Heart Medallion Checkerboard. And obviously I am super, super excited about this quilt. Just a little excessively so. Okay. One more time. Here we go.